Preschool 5 room, and then preschool
I know it's not like it's his money to do.
I agree with you, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know. Always a few seems to benefit more than the others. Always. You got my bag. You got my bag.
For a moment, now I'll be in front of you.
Then you'll open my bag.
Then you'll know.
Yeah, let's open my bag.
This clarity got you there.
Nah, I know better than that.
Yeah. Not Thursday, I think.
Let's roll. Six o'clock. 6 o'clock.
20 seconds. Let's go ahead and get started. If it ain't 6 o'clock, it's mighty close. This is kind of an outline. I don't think y'all have this, but this is kind of the way we're gonna go tonight, because this is that's the way these are set up. So when you do one, you'll turn to the next page and so on. So Mayor, we'll start with you, if you don't mind, on page 4. It'll be the front of your package on page 4 is what you're looking for. It should look like this right here. Everybody feel it?
Myself, if you look at the first line item, it says county official administrative officer. Like all elected officials this year, there is a statutory increase required for elected officials. So that increase is $2,197. If you go down the line, you see there's a decrease for part-time personnel. That's Linda Gammons. That's $18,424 decrease in that line item. There's a $2,000 increase for overtime. It's going to go from $5,000 to $7,000. There are some things we're working through, and we're hoping to streamline some processes there at the mayor's office. We found some things that are probably a little outdated and need to be doing a little bit more efficient. So we're hoping to, after July 1st, to start working on some of those and streamline some of the processes internal to the mayor's office. There's an $882 decrease for Social Security payments, an increase of $3,360 in state retirement. I have a cell phone, which was approved by the county commission, so that's $600 there, and that was not in last year's budget. There's a $2,662 increase. That was also voted on a few months ago by the county commission. That's for a new software package for Ms. Thompson to use. I believe that tracked fixed assets. Am I correct?
Actually, no, that is the increase in our overall software.
Okay. So it's an overall software price increase. We have no testing, anything for new employees. We have done some bid notices through the mayor's office, and we're asking to increase that. Actually put the line item in that for $300. We actually have a couple of projects that we're going to be bidding out as we go in later into the year. Have a $500 decrease in travel expense. Asking for an increase of $250 for furniture and fixtures, and that is to get new chairs for Amy, Ms. Thomas, and Linda Gammons. And also for in the new office equipment line, we're asking for an increase of $1,000, and that's for computers for Vicki and Renee. I was talking to Renee the other day, and nobody can remember how old her computer is. So it's been there for quite a while. And if you see overall, the mayor's office, year over year, we're decreasing our budget by $8,144. So is there any questions on any of the things I've discussed?
Anyone got anything on any of that? Okay with it?
Decrease by how much?
8,144.
10,000.
Is the next one you got in your list, election commission?
Yeah, page 5, be the next page over, be the election commission.
Got the county attorney down below.
We do, but I think that's more for an item on Thursday's agenda. Tonight is the sheriff's, the local elected officials, and emergency services.
Mr. Paxton will be here a little bit later to talk election.
So does committee want me to go ahead and talk about election, or you want to wait for Mr. Paxton to get here?
Wait, or you can go ahead either one.
If he's coming, it might be better to wait for him.
He can certainly give you more detail on it than I could.
Let's wait for him in and go on down to register of deeds, which will be at the bottom of page 5.
All right.
Oh, this is a tough one.
As you see, the first item, again, like I said, all elected officials are getting a statutory increase this year. That's $1,902 for the register of deeds. She's asking to increase her part-time assistant from 2 days a week to 3 days a week, so that'd be an increase of $3,872 and move her up to 24 hours a week. There is an increase, of course, when anybody's salary and pay increases, there's an increase in the Social Security line item. There will be a decrease in the state retirement line of $550. There is no change on the line item for medical insurance. There's an increase of $91 for employer Medicare. That, of course, that goes along with the increase in pay. An increase of $17, I believe, is for dues and membership. There is no line item or no amount requested for, no increase or decrease requested for evaluation and testing. That's stay at $54. If you look down the next item, you see on the far right column, as far as the increase or decrease, should be an increase of $100, and that's to purchase some record books for her office. An increase of $300, and that's for certification and training. It seems the state's requiring more training here lately, so that's going to be an increase in that line item. And then also an increase of $850 for office supplies. And then for $1,800, and that is to scan 12 deed books of the registrar's office, so they'd be available online. I believe that's what that is. And then a decrease in furniture and fixtures of $2,936. So that'll be a total increase year over year of $5,834. And so that will make our proposed budget for the register of deeds office $112,825.
Any questions or comments on this one?
Where is the biggest increase in that extra day?
That extra day, yeah, when she moves from, it goes up to 24 hours, and then that will increase that because that's every week for 52 weeks. That's the biggest increase. That's $3,872. And of course, when the pay goes up, that has an increase in Social Security and Medicare also. Of course, the $1,800 for scanning 12 deed books, I believe that should be a non-recurring expense for that.
Any other comments? Right, the way that one's signed, and we'll hold this to Mr. Paxton, he's right at the top of that, we'll come back to that one. Property assessor, page 8.
Again, there's in this line, in this department, there's also a statutory increase for the elected official, and that'd be $1,902. And then you have the accompanying increase for Social Security, state retirement, and Medicare. He's also having a $3,000 line item, and that's for the GIS software that his office has to use as part of his day-to-day business. Increase of $576 for rentals, and that's for equipment that his office uses. There's a decrease of $500, and that is for insurance through the Tennessee Risk Management Trust. And then a decrease, a year-over-year decrease of $3,500 in office equipment, but a year-to-year increase of $1,845, and so the proposed budget for that office will be $137,166.
Which one?
Property Assessor's Office, page 8.
I'm sorry, I got lost.
That's the top of the page.
So it's actually moved from.
Any questions on this one?
To services. So it's just under.
What we know in the county trustees office.
Again, the same things with all the elected officials. There's a statutory increase, $1,902 for her office, and accompanying increases in Social Security, retirement, and Medicare, and a $100 increase for the local government software. The prices of things have gone up, so this is a $100 increase for use of that software. $100 increase for printing and stationery forms, $450 increase in the travel line item, $1,200 increase for office supplies, $100 decrease for office supplies and other materials, an increase of $500 for in-service staff development. Again, as it says, the state's requiring more training for officials, so that would be an increase there. And then a decrease of $100 on other charges for her office. She does make a notation. She's not asking for it this year, but probably in the next budget year, she's going to ask for some new computers for her office, and that'll be a total of $4,000. That's not just for the computers, that's also for IT support through local government and everything, so that's part of the $4,000. But for this year, there'll be a year-over-year increase of $4,301, and the budget request will be $137,038.
Any questions or comments on this one? Miss Cindy's here if you want to build about it. Okay, Mayor, let's move on to the county clerk. Page 9.
Hate to sound like a broken record, but again, elected officials, so a statutory increase in this office, along with the accompanying increases for Social Security, state retirement, and Medicare. She's asking for a $14 increase in data processing services. Going to be elimination of the line item for new employee testing, an increase of $500 for travel, and again, that is for increased training required through the state. $200 increase for office supplies, $400 increase for staff development. Again, like I said, they're asking more training of local elected officials, and that goes hand in hand with the increase in the travel expenses. A decrease of $300 for data processing equipment, and a decrease of $500 for office equipment, but a year-over-year increase of $2,497, and a total budget request of $130,976.
Any questions on this one? Comments, questions? All right, let's see. Courts, page 10.
I'll start with the circuit court. Again, statutory increase for elected official, but there will be a decrease in deputies' pay of $506 and a decrease in Social Security to go along with that of $914. Increase of $70 for state retirement, decrease of $210 for Medicare, increase of $100 with dues and membership, decrease of $100 for maintenance and repair of services, office equipment, increase $200 on office supplies, asking for a $50 increase in periodicals, and a decrease of $327 for insurance on Tennessee Risk Management Trust. So year over year increase of $265 and a total budget request of $198,173.
Any comments on this one? General session?
Again, this is primarily Judge Linville. Again, statutory increase of $1,757 and a company increase for Social Security, state retirement, and Medicare. And that is really the only increases for the General Sessions Court budget. There'll be a total year-over-year increase of $1,979 and a total budget request of $98,398.
Any comments? Judge report.
For the court official, that'd be Ms. Jones. Again, statutory increase. She also has an increase of $2,816, and that's for a full-time assistant that she actually hired earlier this year, and the county commission voted to go ahead and allow her to hire that. She had enough money left in her budget at the time to hire a full-time assistant, and this would just be an increase of $10,816 for the next fiscal year to continue that full-time assistant. Of course, you have with that, you have your increase of Social Security, state retirement, Medicare, and also have an increase of $3,374 for insurance for a new employee. There is an increase of $550, and that's for jury and witness expenses. They foresee at least 3 days of trials in September, and so you're going to have an increase in the jury expenses there. There's a decrease of $387 for software. Increase of $300 for, I believe, data processing services. Decrease of $250 for legal notices, recording court calls. Decrease of $100 for printing stationery and forms. Increase of $200 for travel, and again, that's because the state's requiring more training for local elected officials, and so that increases travel expenses. An increase of $100 for periodicals, and then an increase of $400 for in-service staff development. Again, that's because of the increased training requirements from the state. So a year-over-year increase of $18,839 and a total budget request of $128,311.
Any comments on this one? We should go to judicial commissioners next.
Okay.
Page 11.
For judicial commissioners, there's really only one increase here, and that's for cell phones. And that'd be $65 a month for Commissioner Puckett and $25 a month for Commissioner Brown. He did not previously have one, but when Mr. Puckett requested a cell phone, I believe some members of the county commission suggested that Mr. Brown, who in the past had pretty much covered the expenses for use of his personal phone, be given some kind of compensation for use of his personal phone for county business, and so that was $25 a month. And so there's a $75 increase for dues and membership, total increase year over year of $605, and a total budget request of $33,383.
Any questions on this one? Courtroom security.
You want me to take this one, or you want to cover this, Sheriff?
I can do it. Courtroom security, the only thing's gonna change from this year, from last year, is cameras I'm asking for to put throughout the Justice Center, and also be inside the building, and conference room next door, that have a camera in it too. Our meeting rooms, community rooms, also have a camera in it. that's really the only increase is 19,848. It could come in less than that, I might bid it out. I had one company look at it, around $18,000 on the 6 months. But bid it out, it may come in at 15,000, I'm over, somewhere in that range, I'd say 15.
Any questions on this
It was
one?
deeded, I think, it should have been there when the building. We moved there because of security reasons. This is one of the main keys now. In today's world, we have the cameras up, we can monitor. If something happens, we can go back and look and see what happened. And the security of the building itself, inside and outside.
And that should be a non-recurring expense also, so that won't carry over to next year.
How many, that's 97,000, how many employees is that? How many do you got doing that? Three?
Did you say one time you thought that the cameras could be covered by court fees, court fines?
Yeah, they can, we get so much every time somebody goes to court, it's added in with fees and fines, Kim will probably go out. $3 for every case, it goes through, goes toward.
I thought that's what he said, not to cover that. Can I help?
Well, the money's coming in on the other side, but this is where they're gonna be spending it.
Yeah,
It has to be put in the expense.
yeah.
Any other comments, questions? Now it's time to ask, you got it.
I'm saying it will be like a.
All right, let's move right along to
It'd be-
Mr. Sheriff. Being on page 12.
Y'all wanna go through line by line?
Probably,
But first goes my salary, like we talked about, everybody got a TCA code this year that we get a raise, and that's where I'm at on that, the increase there. Deputies, 23,000, that's longevity increase we passed last year. You move down to the next one, salary supplements, that's where officers go to training. And the state pays that to each officer, it went from 600 to 800. We increased $200 probably the first time in probably 25 years we've been increasing that. It's paid through by the state license plates. Getting this county money. Dispatchers, asked for 2 more dispatchers this year's budget. And 3 of them are coming out of this one, I think, and 3 of them out of the urban center budget. Increase of $27,000 there. Next one, school resource officer, $4,000 increase, reimbursed by the school 50% on that. Overtime paid, decreased it last year, and increased to $5,000 and $70,000.
how are you running on the overtime rate?
We're estimated right now, we're under about 15,000.
Under,
Yeah, right now.
well, you need to increase it then if you're under that?
I don't think we need to. Right now, I think right now we're okay on it, like it is.
I just seen an increase of 5,000, that's what I asked for.
Yeah, we can leave that at 65.
Miss Amy,
You trim at 5.
I would actually suggest to increase the overtime because of the longevity that is being done this year. your overtime is gonna get a little bit more expensive because of that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. But I think we could probably take it back down to 65.
With the 15,000 under what he estimated, that should take care of the difference.
It should.
That's, you still got the rest of the year to go. You still got this
That's
month,
like
next
2
month.
weeks.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, 2 weeks.
Two
What were
weeks,
these
yeah.
figures of?
But right now, he's at,
You know what I'm saying, as far as the year to date, when was the date? This is estimated.
you're estimated 48,543, that's right now, ain't it, right?
That's
All right, let's make that 5,000 a minus then.
Next one, bonus pay or no bonus pay, social security, there's some increases in that, all the, we're just talking about the increases in pay. Communications, it stayed the same, 9,000, data processing, increased it $200, dues and memberships, it stayed the same, 3,000. Evaluation and testing, that's where we hire people, have to send them for drug tests and psychologicals. And it's at 4,000.
What was the 3,500 for, man? That was your evaluation and testing, wasn't it?
That's correct.
Okay, go ahead.
We did have 7,500. 9,700 spent at 17, 18. This last year we budgeted 75. We'll spend estimated about 3,000. We could probably trim that down a little bit.
How much, Ruth?
Probably about 2,000.
Is that where you're showing 3,500 now?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a minus 2,000.
Minus 1,500.
The column on the far right is a decrease of year over year, so right now, he's decreasing that line item $3,500 from last year. So he's actually gonna go from 7,500 in the current fiscal year to
4,000.
4,000, so he's already going down 3,500.
It's a minus 3,500.
Yeah.
It's already.
I thought I'd already decreased it. Legal notices, $500, it's the same. Maintenance and repair on the building. 10,000. We had it last year. Office equipment, 10,000, same as last year. Maintenance and repair on vehicles, 20,000. Medical and dental, that is, I think on the blood test, and stuff we run there too also, that's $1,500, that's the same. Postal charges, 300, go up $60. Stationary forms, everything's pretty much the same with all of these we were last year. Gasoline, 40,000. We estimated to spend 33.8 this year, but, you know, the gas prices have gone up the last few months, so hopefully we'll stay right around that. Office supplies. Same there.
You raised it 2,000.
Yeah, we're gonna spend right at 10, we're raising $100,000.
You're up a little on your natural gas too.
Yeah. Yeah, we're within, we estimated to spend 38.56. I raised it from 35 before. We're gonna be right on the borderline there on that one. Office supplies, 3,800 estimated. 35, I had 25 in there. Periodicals, those are all those 5. They're about the same every year. Uniforms, that's still the same, 10,000. Water sewage. Same as last year. In services, staff development, there is $200 for that. $2,500, that's for the training, we have to go to 25,000. Law enforcement equipment, staying the same at 1,000, motor vehicles, 2 patrol cars, 28,000 apiece. School resource officer. Blanked out there.
Hey, man, are your SROs staying the same?
What's that?
The SROs, are they staying the same in each school? Okay.
Yeah, there's the other side. Oh, office equipment. Spent last year, had 10,000 budgeted. I got the same kind of budget again. And other equipment is grant, we get every year for $5,000. Has an increase on every 62,936.
That's the other that you took off, no, that was already calculated. Well, you took 5,000 off.
Yeah.
So it'll be 5,000 off that one. 57,936. Is that right?
That's right.
Questions for the sheriff? Yes.
The patrol cars, is that 3 total or one above 2? Because you've got proposed 60 and then the increase of 28.
I had 2 in the general budget and 1 in urban.
Okay, the other one will show up in urban. Okay.
Doing 3 cars a year, keeps it rotated out for each day. How many cars you got, miles to put on them.
I know we've talked about in law enforcement, 3 cars, and that's why I was, when I saw 2.
About a few years ago, we didn't buy any cars after several years. We had like 6 cars, and we wore out. And we had to get several of them there a few years. We just now got to where we're comfortable right now to rotate it out. And I'm gonna pull one of these out, get the jail car out of transport. The other two is gonna be put over the patrol, used backup vehicles and training vehicles to drive. And I got 2 more vehicles that I was gonna give to the mayor's office, administrative office, they can use if they want. It's a Crown Vic I used to drive years ago, and a Chevrolet Impala. Administrative office now, they can go to their schools and stuff. These ladies have got to go, they can take that vehicle from there.
So your big increase is really just cars, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really the main thing there, and dispatcher. And I feel like, we've got to have them with the wait times of getting them dispatching, it's just, I had one that quit like a couple months ago, and she just got so busy, she just couldn't handle it, get to her. And it's like right now, we've got, 2 that we're training in. One of them's gonna go solo next week, and probably 2 or 3 more weeks for another one. I've got 3 deputies training dispatch, and I have to pull them off the road, fill in when somebody does leave for vacation. And this will have to cut back on overtime for them, and for dispatch too. So if somebody did up and leave, quit, or retire, or whatever, I'll still have somebody to see, where I don't have to pull a deputy off the road, play somebody overtime, have overtime to come to work. It really got out all around.
Looking into next year, will you need cars again next year, right?
Probably so. It's gonna take 3 a year to rotate the fleet out every year.
We never got the one paid for last year. Still paying on that.
Yeah. But that's what it takes, so to keep them rotated out for the amount of cars that we have, to rotate them. Years ago, back when the county and city were separated, the city would get 2 cars every other year. And the county, we'd probably average out getting 1 a year. It's really the same as it was back then. It's just now we're all together.
How many miles is the patrol car in?
It varies, probably around 25, 30,000 a year. Not counting run time on the engine. There's 7 wrecks, lights on. That's where a lot of your wire and tires on the emergency vehicle is 7 running.
How many deer have y'all hit this year, right?
About 4 or 5.
It's a record.
I was gonna say that, it's
You
gonna
need to
take
get
some mileage
deer
off of right there.
That's why the food budget's down.
Any more questions for the sheriff?
I will say that these major items were run by the law enforcement committee, and they were approved by the law enforcement committee to recommend.
Alrighty. The next one down here is fire. On page 15, I believe it says. Yep.
The sheriff still got it on the jail for the cars and stuff.
Yeah. Page 13.
Yeah, that one down there, we need to do it. We'll go ahead with that, right?
Big drug enforcement, that's gonna be our, drug task force agent. And no increases at all, it's like that.
Okay.
Administrative, sex offender registry. Whenever that's in the bill here in the Charles County, if they're a sex offender, they have to come in and register with us. And Cheney and Troy Calhoun takes care of that. program. They have paid so much a year to register, that money goes into this line item meter, and we could use that to buy office equipment, computers and stuff like that. That's not taxpayers' money that's in that, is what they pay into it. We're able to take that money and buy computers and laptops and stuff that we work with. No increase in nothing on it. I think it's $400 right now. We haven't spent too much out of it lately. We did buy all our new computers back a few years ago in our office. For the technicians, dentist's office. Down to the jail. Increase there is, I presume it's just where the longevity is on 19,887. Cafeteria, that's 2 cooks, what's there in jail. It's the same, overtime, $10,000. Let's get it 10. On payments, Social Security, audit services, $4,000. This is something new that we started out doing a couple of years ago. It's called PREA, Prison Rape Elimination Act, was passed by President Bush back 10 years ago. It went into effect 2 years ago. It's $4,000 on that. We have to pay the government $4,000 to come and audit this. We have to pay them. We have to pay for the motel rooms and food while they're here. That's what the $4,000 is. We do it every 2 years. We've done it 4 years ago. Last year we didn't spend anything because they didn't audit. They don't audit this year. Probably here in the next few weeks. Process and services, same. Use membership, same. Evaluation, testing. That's for new employees. $1,000. Gonna go over this year. Maintenance on the building, the same. Maintenance apparel, equipment, the same. Medical and dental, we just got finished bidding it out. Dr. Carey's office, the only one gave us a bid this year. They gave us the same money in contract as we did last year. Us switching from the company that we did have, looks like we're gonna save probably $25,000 last year.
Is this state prisoners or any prisoners?
No, this is a contract we do for medical, to take care of all the prisoners. And the county court, the law enforcement committee has to, we usually have to bid it out every year. And they usually come in, we decide on what company to go with. We switched to Dr. Carey last year, and he's gonna save us probably about $25,000 this year.
But you gonna leave it all in there in case?
Yeah, just
See what you
in case, 'cause
do?
you don't ever know what's going up and down. But, he's leaving his price the same as it was last year.
Have to pay for a car if you don't spend it.
Yeah. But,
So Dr. Carey's contract's $115,000.
Yeah. And the rest of it is put in there for other costs. We call it mobile x-ray. There's some things that's not included in his bill. With the mobile x-ray, they come in and x-ray the prisoners, and take them to ER, which really saves us some money. He comes in and sees them during the night, and the nurses will have to take them to ER like everybody who got sick, send them to ER, send them to ER. So that's where it saves us some money. Pest control, same. Liquor charges, same. Same. Rentals, same. Travel, that's the same. Custodial system. Food, I increased it $5,000. I may not increased it enough. I had 45,000 budgeted, and we had to make, spend 53,000 this year, but I want to increase it another 5,000. We're running about 5 over every day than what the past one is. We generally sleeping about 5 or 10 in Florida. All the extra people I got, food costs, goes up on that part. Water, natural gas the same. Everything's the same always down through here, except when you get down, it's got building improvements. I put $10,000 in there for new lighting in the back of the jail. Our lights in the back, they tamper-resistant lights. Then they broke, pulled down the lights, bulbs are pulled, they're falling out of them. And I've got a company I've been talking to come in, look at putting all LED lights in the back part of the jail because they're tamper-resistant, but they can't break into them. Right now, they can stand up on the beds and reach up our ceilings, it's so low. They're tearing up something all the time. 10 years ago, we never had this problem. This generation we got now, anything they can, they will tear up. I like it when you go to all another. Well, I don't care what it is, they're gonna tear it up. Sprinkler heads, cameras, anything they get their hand on, they're breaking it all the time.
How many lights will you
How many lights? Well, they're fluorescent lights like we got similar to these. And all, it's probably 100 of them. Just several of them, actually.
So in your jail, you've got a total increase of 45,537. That's on page 14. All right, questions for the sheriff in the jail?
Hey, Ralph, you routinely have that many that you have to sleep on the floor?
Yeah, pretty much all the
Every
time.
jail across the state's like that.
Yeah, I've got more women now than what I used to house. So I take one of my male cells and turn it into a female cell. I think we got 14 women today. We got 12 beds for women. We got 2 women sitting in Florida. Those are beds. Used to never have one. It's gonna get where we got more women than we do men.
That is a lot.
They're men.
They got liberated. They asked for it.
They sure did.
On page 15, you want to say anything about your workhouse and juvenile services? I don't see very much addition there.
Workhouse is made up of Larry Warner and Darren Gregory. They take out work crews. Some of their pay is actually come through the HIT grant. That's broken down right here. It's pretty much all the same. The only increases I think right here all year is $1,431. And things are going good with it. Darren, he came on board. And one thing he did do, he cleaned all these air conditioners in the courthouse. He said they probably haven't been cleaned. I talked to Randy, probably happened with about 5 years. They're leaking in the floors, he cleaned all these out. He went around and cleaned all the units. And he's really making a difference. He took Tim Myers' place, where Tim was working here. Any questions on that? It's all pretty much the same as it was last year.
The recycling yard, is that made out of
No, that's
made out of Filson County?
yes, please, that's there.
You say anything about your juvenile services?
That's not me. That's Wendy Holder.
Yeah, right.
She's appointed by the judge.
Mhm.
I'll cover that one. She's a youth service officer for the juvenile court. She She's basically probation officer, judicial commissioner. She has various roles that she does as required by statute and the rules of juvenile procedure. There's no change in that budget year over year. It's staying exactly the same, and some of her salary is paid for through a grant through the state.
Any question?
Right. How you doing on your inspections, your state inspections?
Jail was inspected back in March. We passed inspection on that. Fire marshal done, passed inspection there. Yeah, I think it came in March inspection the jail. It was in compliance.
Is it okay that they were sleeping on the floor?
Well, they didn't really say a whole lot about it. Once, you know, we had it in. The time we came by and inspected, it was actually down. We left, we went back up. We was lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're overcrowded, aren't you, Ray?
And we stayed full.
Every jail's like that.
It is,
The
Macon
one
County,
state's like that.
Macon County's getting ready to add on, either 200 or 300 more beds. Wilson County getting ready to add 400 beds. Their jail. It's like it everywhere. Me and
Is
the mayor
that for
talking
state
about today,
prisoners or is that for just,
just everybody, just the mayor, everybody. Me and the mayor talking about today, I don't know what's gonna happen, not just here, everywhere. There's got to be other ways to keep locking people up. There's got to be some kind of work program or something to help these people get back on their feet, instead of locking them up.
I know at some of these meetings we've been to, some of these other counties have introduced a work program where they let them go out and work.
That's right.
And
We're talking
it
about
seems to be working really good.
a lot of these bigger counties, like Rutherford County, they got a workhouse there where they actually go out there every day and work. Companies and factories, they come in, their cells are like little apartments. They get drug tested every day, they have to take the money, they have to pay for their own needs there. They have to pay to stay there. And what money they got left, they pay for child support, have a job when they get ready to get out. And when they do get out, they got their fines paid. It helps. You know, you take somebody here that gets out of jail, it's been locked up. They don't have a job, they don't have a vehicle, a lot of them don't have a driver's license. What else they gonna do? You let them out? It's just like,
Like a work release program.
yeah, they've got no choice a lot of it. We're gonna have to do something, not just here, but everywhere. We don't have the industry here to put people in. I know, Cliff has hired a few over the years, and Woody did too, worked out, people work on the work program. And a lot of them turned out to be pretty good workers, worked there several years. There's still one, two working today.
Are you thinking about doing that kind of a program?
I don't know if we've got the workforce here to do it, that's the thing about it. I wish we did. Our factories are small, what we do have here.
You could throw some out and like put them on band and like through temporary agencies, like also or something like that.
It'd be hard to have to transport to other towns and do
Might talk with Charlie Lyons.
This is being looked at statewide by the
Yes, it
governor's
is.
office. He's got a task force he's put together
Trying to put,
to address this.
on
But
probation.
the universal problem.
Make bands on, monitor. Going that route, so.
I know where you put a couple to work immediately, if you work out the system to do it, but
There might be a few more jobs around.
if the people knew they're available, they might be able to put a few of them to work if you felt like you could trust them or whatever.
You got to put the trust to do anything.
Oh, no, that's like what I work with right now. I've got 28 state inmates are unsentenced, they can't work, do anything. That's what kind of bogged down. Then you go to my Senate inmates, they can go out and work, state. There's about 13 of them. 3 of them can't go out to the sex offender. 2 of them are females. One of them has a contract for the jail. And then we got 1 or 2 we won't let go out. That takes it down to 7, 8.
What if you had a country that we could bring in piecework to the jail when they work there?
Yeah, I could, we don't do that. Yeah, I wish all the commissioners would come down and tour the jail. And just look and see, look at it. We don't have any room there at all. I had to move our book out there in the shed 3 years ago. Out of the office, we had to move up in that little building, box, we had this thing, looking out there. It's right on top of the shed. I'd like to come back and take a look at it.
You know, grand jury, you can go down and look.
Yeah.
How many years do you estimate before you go on jail?
But
How many years do you estimate before you go on jail?
I don't want one period.
About 10 years ago.
I don't want one period, but, you know, it's coming, whether we want it or
I
not.
mean, if you're overcrowded, 10, 15 people a day, something's gotta be done soon.
It's like Macon County, they got 125 beds, they're running 250. They got 100 on the floor. They got them laying in the hallways, and they got a room about this size, they use for classes, GED, drug, alcohol, treatment classes. They got them in there. Classrooms, they got them in on cardboard mats.
But they paid for theirs through state prisons.
Yeah.
All of that was paid for through
Yeah.
state.
You said they're fixing to expand it?
Yeah, they're gonna go up to another 200 or 300 more beds.
These several million.
But it-
How big do you think the increase will be? So what you got?
We couldn't stay where we're at.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, how big, how much more build?
Not anything, I'd wanna move back behind the city hall building, build on behind it. And, build what we would need, about 150 beds, 160, cost $10 to $13 million.
So you want 2 to 3 stories?
It'd be one story.
I know in the last meeting, we went to up in Gatlinburg, they cautioned us about building jails just for state prisoners too. They was very adamant about it, weren't they? I know the jail down there, when it was added on to, state prisoners pretty well paid it, we didn't raise taxes any back then for
It
that.
cost $400,000, issue back then.
Mhm.
Payment was $40,000 a year, set up on a 10-year note. We kept 5 state prisoners and we paid it out.
That's right.
And whenever I took over sheriff's office, we kept 5 state prisoners. Whenever I took over, I started keeping 15. I signed a contract with the state. Then I started another work crew. Steve Whitaker was the one that started, Pat Ferguson was here. And we started another work crew with Steve. And started keeping more state inmates.
Guys, we need to move on. Any more questions for the sheriff? Not, the bottom of page 15 would be the fire. Mark, you gonna handle that?
I can, myself and the mayor.
Whichever.
Most of the lines are unchanged from the last year's budget item. The largest increase that's shown in this budget is for the tanker. I will remind the committee that 2 years ago, that cost of that tanker was put in the county's budget, and you collected taxes against it. But that tanker is due to be delivered by mid-August of this year. So it will actually fall into the next budget year on delivery. PO was issued on that maybe a year and a half ago. There was a 330 odd day build time on that tanker from the date the PO was signed until anticipated delivery. So almost a full year to build. We have, last week we looked at the budget, the current budget. We pieced together some monies from various lines unspent so far, and we bought a group of equipment and supplies out of this year's budget money that we had not yet used. We bought about 20 rolls of new hose. We bought about 15 jugs of foam, firefighting foam. We have ordered 6 new sets of turnout gear and some new helmets. And then we're looking into next year's budget year, trying to replace some more pieces of turnout gear. We're looking at, turnout gear is supposed to be turned over, taken out of service when it reaches 10 years old. So we're looking at some of the oldest gear we have to begin to take it out, and then we'll try to bring another batch on board with some monies in next year's budget too.
I know in the past, you'll always turn back money. If you need equipment, you need to get it.
Well, that's what we've done, Jerry, this time, is we had some lines that we had not spent. We've been very fortunate on vehicle maintenance. We had not had hardly any vehicle maintenance, so that created one large line item of funds. So we cobbled together 2 or 3 others, and were able to make some of these purchases last week.
Good.
Aren't you gonna be able to get any, air packs?
I have not budgeted for any, David. Right now, we've got 8 complete sets. We probably need another 4 at some juncture into the future, but I have not budgeted for any right now.
Any other questions for Mark?
There's a little bit on urban, Jerry, that is unchanged from last year. There's very little. There's a little bit of equipment and supply money and a little bit of fuel money that is charged against your urban budget. But the bulk of the fire budget has always been in 101.
Well, in your tanker is very little there.
Correct. It's mostly a repeat from previous years.
Any other questions? Do you need a 5-minute break? Let's take a 5-minute break. And we'll come back and
I think they need the air bottles.
he'll probably get it in his budget this year.
I think they need the 4 cents.
Not really. Let's take 5 minutes and we'll come back.
Oh, let's take 10. Smoke a cigarette in 5 minutes. Smoke a cigarette in 5 minutes. I can't. I'm not gonna smoke one. I'm not gonna smoke 5.
I was kind of looking at it. It's just a straight
I can't read this. I can't read these.
I like that a lot better though.
I know, but I don't know why you still made the print a little bit. I just can't see it. And it's just because it's my eyes. I mean, well, I said I got this. I've got it home where I'll put 2 pairs. It really
Better off with magnifying glass.
yeah. Look to see if I have it. You got a magnifying glass?
Yes, should be one on your phone. I got one on this phone if I can find it. don't know why
And we're
they-
just spend money.
Somebody show me where it is.
Did you get that thing in here? Get it?
Yep. I got it mounted and seems to be working okay. I can't do the setup on it with my laptop. I have to have, I have to either do it through Google Apps or the App Store, which has to be iOS working. I have to do it through it and then scan a Q code, which I thought I could do with this. But because it's an iOS operating system, it won't put it on the laptop. So I was going to get Amanda's cell phone. And
Yeah, you
it
can
won't
run
take,
out the.
once we do that, then it's set up, you know, it's just doing the registering all the software stuff.
If it looks like.
But I think it's worked great.
Okay.
Say, hey, you gotta change it.
Well, I think if I bring him back, can they hang y'all for a little bit tomorrow? Okay,
I don't know anything going on.
okay, some of my old Tennessee coworkers have a luncheon every so often, get together, just, so, yeah, I get mentioned they're doing. I'll bring him by around 10. We're supposed to meet 11:30 downtown.
I'll find something for you to do.
I'm sure you will.
Do you think any of it get him or just technical management?
We 11:30. I'll probably break up about 4, so I'll back about 2. So I'll come pick him up.
I don't think that we've got anything at all.
Okay.
There was post about Beth this morning and she didn't pick up her thing to get her handicap placard. And,
Yeah, dog got clean.
I think it's supposed to rain.
It does, he
The dog got cleaned, or?
Yeah, she showed, she meeting on the phone about 7 this morning. It's the lady down behind us in the red house.
Oh, okay.
And, she was keeping this dog.
Oh, okay.
For one of her, she calls out and says, this old man ain't going to nursing home or something.
Yeah.
And then he worked with the dogs, so she was kind of volunteering to be a dog sitter.
Oh, okay.
And she let him out, she usually lets him out and do his business, and then he comes right back in. Well, evidently yesterday morning, she let him out, she couldn't find him. She said she went up and down the lane and everything, she had to get to work, so she had to leave. And she wasn't on Facebook or anything like that, and then her daughter, when she got off from work, told her last night that had the dog, but it was so late, she was afraid to come up there. So 7 o'clock this morning, I went back to bed. I was sound asleep. I said, I stayed up late last night. I didn't get to bed till 11 o'clock because all this trying to shoot me. And so I just, but it was not, that's where he belongs. But he's looking for, probably going to have a permanent home.
Okay. Yeah.
Should have hopped you home.
So I've been told.
I just decided I needed to stretch.
I didn't do one last year.
Got your peg this time.
The only thing that I would ask is Ben covered.
You can do mine, Cincy.
There's your
Doing all right. Just where I've been getting some emails on this thing that you got to sign up for. And it says you get on and produce a law. Is there anything else I need to do?
Not right now. I haven't registered for the conference yet, because we're supposed to be in front of the Economic Development Committee on the 18th, get them to approve the funds. So until the funds are approved, so I'm not gonna do that. But no, right now, that should be, just set up the initial account, that should be it for right now, until we get those other funds.
I just make sure I was fulfilling everything I need to do.
just that, really, the only other requirements was we signed up for that, which we already paid for it, and then go to that conference.
A good color on
You know, there is, there's, if we stay overnight down there, there's no hotel reimbursement or anything like that, the county would have to pay for it. Now he's already said she's going to drive back and forth, she's not gonna be able to stay down there, so I haven't decided if I'm gonna do that or not.
Depends on how long they last. I don't know, I can look at the schedule. See if they just stay, so we can fight the traffic.
Sure.
Still several hours.
How'd that work? It's like over 5 years.
Get the decision, make reservations.
But you gotta be like 5 years old. So they guarantee that every year they
No,
start.
that should be pretty much it for right now. And then, I already sent your names and everything to the one that's actually doing the retail academy, so we should be
They
registered
got
for
over
that.
5 years, they give a little bit every year for staying.
And they never sent me confirmation, but I did send it to them like 5 minutes after we received the email saying, hey, register, see your email and names to this address. About 5 minutes, I already sent it back to them. Here's our names, so we're going.
I did, after I spoke to you, I went ahead and sent an RSVP to Kelsey, about the CEO roundtable. Just letting her know, you said they'll have to see the responders, I went ahead and sent an RSVP.
I did be strong. Right, all right, thank you.
Urban Services is Thursday night, I think.
Yeah.
Do we need to go over the sheriff's department budget for urban services tonight or
What
wait
was
till
it is,
Thursday?
it's what's remaining after the departments go through, like the sheriff needs to talk about it on 11, it's what's remaining after that, in public works. Whatever remaining in one.
He's gonna do that Thursday night, the sheriff is on
I
that.
can do it right now.
We've had 10, so let's get to work. Sheriff, if you would, go back to the urban services, which is right next to the back, about 2 or 3 pages over. And let's go over that urban services while we've got you here.
Okay.
It looks like this, if it'll help you.
What page is it?
It says page 2.
It's in the sort of bag.
It's right near the back of your packet.
111, the 111.
Yep, 111.
It's a separate page. Every time it's
It says statement 1 at the top.
We got 116. 111 come back to 116.
Yeah, it's the very last thing.
I think it's about 3 pages from the very back.
Okay, got it.
You find it, Sheriff?
At the top up here, deputies, $2,400 increase there. I think that's where the longevity pay comes in from last year. Salary supplements, that's what I'm talking about, the state pays that. For training. The next one is dispatcher, we talked about earlier, 4 out of 7 dispatchers. Like you remember, it's increased. Oh, this year, 125,000. Overtime pay, it went up $2,000 where we added in, about a minute ago on increase on other benefits. We estimate to spend $14,438. Might be comfortable to leave that where it's
Do your dispatchers get overtime?
at. Some, but this is deputies too, included in this.
Yes.
Dispatchers and deputies.
I'm asking because your dispatchers is increasing 92,000, so I figured if they have overtime, you would want to raise that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they get some overtime. Hopefully, when they get to hire these new dispatchers, we'll be able to cut back on that work. everything else is pretty much the same. Going down, gasoline, increase of $500. Major increase, what we combined with dispatch, 92,352. I got a patrol car in here too, $30,000. Increase of 121,633.
Does that include in your cars, putting all the equipment and stuff on them, or have you got that over in another place?
Now, that's including everything, law enforcement equipment, everything, all there together.
So how many dispatchers is the urban services paying for?
How about you break it down this time? We haven't,
We can't,
we had,
that's, urban services cannot have a $121,000 increase in one budget on How many is paid out of 101 fund on dispatch?
There's 3 paid out of 101, and there's 3 dispatchers plus the medical record, or not medical records, the records clerk for the sheriff's department that's included in urban services. Looking at the breakdown of calls that I got from the sheriff's department, it's pretty evenly split between county and urban services, which is why we moved some dispatchers over.
On the uniforms, do you buy those or do you rent them from somebody or how do you do it?
uniforms, we buy those.
Have you checked on renting them to a company? They get them up more than they were?
They won't do these, there's no company that does these.
They'll run it off?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never known anybody get uniforms.
Talk to me.
What's our urban services tax rate looking like with everything you got in right now? Staying the same, going up, or what?
The tax rate was decreased for both urban services and general services. It went down from 108 to .8753, and the penny value went up to 5,341.
So off of all this budget he's asking for, it still went down then.
Well, the tax rate went down, but the money it's bringing in increased because the tax assessment, the property assessments went up. That's why the penny value went from 4,000 something to 5,341.
Any more questions on it?
So how many new dispatchers are you, I ain't been on law enforcement committee here lately, I mean, how many dispatchers are you hiring new? And what shift are they working, or how are you doing
We'll
it?
be working on 3 to 3 shifts. Coming in 3 to eat, looking 3 to 4 to do these times.
So you will have 2 dispatchers all over there? So the jailers down there, they can't go do they're not certified dispatcher?
Yeah, they're not certified doing 911 or dispatch.
Ready to move on? On page 17, rescue.
budget this time, you see the first thing you'll see is there was a decrease in $2,000 for the other per diem free fees. And that was, had employees as volunteers, so that decreased $2,000. $560 increase in contributions. $100 increase in printing stationery forms. There's an increase of $800 for towing services, and the reason is because the service they were using, the gentleman had been paying a lower price, and so that gentleman became unavailable, and the replacement service charged them more, so that was an increase up to $800. They're thinking they're going to increase their towing expenses because they're doing more extraction classes, and so they need to tow more vehicles to the training site and have the extraction classes, and so they think it's going to increase towing expenses of about $800.
We do about 6 cars at a time, so you know, gets to tow them through our site and then tow them back when we're finished. So that's really $800 cost incurs.
Increase in $100 for custodial supplies. Increase of $280 for other charges. Increase of $1,000 for communication equipment. This is to replace aging radios and batteries. $500 increase in office equipment, and $2,000 increase in site development. And this is to make repairments to the helipad out there. There's some wiring issues. The conduit that was run was plastic and it's become brittle, been hit by mowers and stuff, and so it needs to be replaced, and some lights need to work on. And the windsock has a
The assembly system that the site attaches to is actually fairly expensive. Turns out it's a bearing, so it picks up the lightest wind and gives the aircraft, the pilot, an idea of the direction of the wind. So
apparently the bearings and everything are not have locked up, and so the windsock doesn't turn with the wind like it's supposed to, and that assembly is quite expensive. So that's where the $2,000 increase is for the repairs to the helipad and the windsock. So it's an year-over-year increase of $3,340. Now, the total budget request is $72,040, but the rate replacement for the radios and the helipad repair and windsock, that is non-recurring expenses. Those should just be one-year expenses.
Any questions? All right. Below that is other emergency management, which is EMA.
I'm going to let Director Beatty do that. There's a couple of items he wanted to address, so I'm going to let him do that.
There's no salary changes this year, so everything related to this should stay pretty much generally the same. On this first line, communication, I think we can probably drop that back down to what it was previously, around $500. I don't foresee us needing the $4,000 for that. Let's see, everything else is pretty much staying the same. This Homeland Security grant money, that's our EMPG money, so that's monies that we've actually been awarded. And on the Homeland Security section, hey, I need to add in I got about $21,000 in open Homeland Security money still available. One will have to be spent by May of next year, and the other I think is 2021. So
that might be in reserves right now, which is not budgeted.
Okay, perfect. So there's that left over. I think we take $500 off of the communication section, which is cell phone modified devices. Most of that was EMS uses those. So we do have a modified device for the rest of the squad building that pays out of my line item and one that we use.
Any questions on this one?
What's the total increase gonna be?
36,167. 36,67.
36,67.
Any other questions on it?
So it's 36.
All right, let's, go to the ambulance service. And it's on D2. Not sure why, we're on C, so it's gonna be on down to Looks like this right here is down about 8, 10, 15 pages from here you are. It says page 118, page 2. Everybody found it? Everybody there enough? Are you handling this one, Matt?
Yes, sir. No pay increases for salary or bonus pay. We did have to do budget in for the overtime from the last fiscal year. So I think that's a reflection of the increases in the retirement, Social Security, Medicare, and so forth there. Contract with private agencies. We did have to do a software update to remain compliant with the state, so there was a increase in that line item to reflect that. And that's with our run ticket software and billing software. On the evaluation testing, we're not necessarily expecting 3 new hires, we just wanted the budget for the potential should we have some turnover. So it's not currently looking to expand, we're just wanting to have money to replace anybody should we experience some turnover. Most of the repair service building, most all the stuff is going to stay pretty much the same here. We did have the increase of a budget amendment this year also for vehicle repair, so we went ahead and just maintained that same 15. That's what it's been for 18, 19. So we dropped it down 5,000 a year before, and then kind of got through on that one. So we just left it where it was. Pest controls are going to stay the same. Postal charges are going to increase a little bit. Just our call volume, and have the postal and send out bills to everyone. Stationary forms, same thing. That's where she pays for her the receipt books. We have to have rentals, so we do rent a copier fax machine that we pay for. Towing services, $100. We rarely need a tow service, but occasionally we've got to have an ambulance tow. Hopefully won't happen, but it was. Travel increase $100. Just it's costing more travel. So we just went up $100. That's roughly what we spend on for conferences and meetings. Custodial supplies up $200. Again, it's just cost of living's increased. Drugs and medical supplies, we did have to increase $2,000. We did 22 last year, and we were down to about $200 for this month. So we have ran into the limit. Part of that was staffing the new, stocking the new ambulance, but we're still going to be right where we need to be with 24 this year. Electricity, we were right at 5,200, so budgeted 6. Gasoline, we're again less than $500 remaining in that line item for this rest of this year. So we increased it in 2014, and all this is just call volume increase. So we're just driving more due to call volume. Natural gas, increased it marginally to reflect, and we're going to be close again on that. Office supplies staying the same. Uniforms staying the same. Water and sewer, just a tad. For the most part, we are still budgeted about the same amounts each year. Staff development, up 1,000. We've had some increases in costs for our online training. The fines and assessment for penalties is kind of misleading. What that actually is the state passed a law a few years ago for any ambulance service that deals Medicaid or TennCare is now to increase our reimbursement. We pay in a certain amount quarterly, and then that money gets redistributed to people that transport, which we transport a significant amount of Medicaid patients. So we pay a little bit more in up front here, and it looks deceiving, but we actually are making more in the end. So it's beneficial for everybody. Other charges is we've had a few times that we've had to dip into that, so we've hit that one a few times in the past. We need to replace some furniture in the day room at the ambulance building. That's, from what I understand, it's the same furniture they had when the county took the ambulance service back over, so it's just getting rips and stuff in the material, and it's starting to fall apart. Office equipment, keeping it the same. Just last other equipment the same. So overall increase is $3,500, $3,512 from last year. And that's mostly reflected by the increase in medical supplies and the replacing furniture.
You got a motor vehicle bracketed.
Yeah, that was last year, so we don't have a large expenditure this year that we're foreseeing.
But that brought you overall down to $378.
Right.
On your rentals, would it be cheaper to buy than to rent it?
Well, we've looked at both options, and we actually bought one similar, but a smaller one for the other side of the office that the 3 other computers run off of. And it's expensive because part of that replaces toner, any maintenance, any repairs, anything that needs to be done, and they've had to come out over the past. And the guy said if you had to, it wasn't under warranty, the one we had to have fixed, we had to have fixed like 3 months after we got it. He said just for them to come out there is $270, just for them to come and look at it. He said so in the long run, he said it is beneficial to go ahead and lease that outside of trying to buy it. You have to buy it for about $5,000. So that's the one that we have that we lease.
How long will it last?
Well, that's the thing. We've had this one repaired several times since I've been there, and it's been there a little while. So I'd say it's probably 7 years old. So it's been repaired several times, but the cost of the toner alone is outrageous for a Xerox machine. So that's included in that price of the lease.
So they furnish all of that with the lease?
Yes, yeah, service and toner, ink, and everything is included in the price. So as soon as we get low, they come out and replace it. Take care of it.
Any other questions from that? Is that it?
How long has it been before you got that one up?
We still have a reserve truck that's in pretty decent shape, so I'll say within the next 5 years, we would be looking to probably get one. Just a lot of it's going to depend on, like, kind of start to fall in the same boat as Ray over here, is how many miles they're starting to put on it. So we're probably putting a similar amount of miles. We're not driving in town as much as the deputies do, but we're driving Gallatin and UMC and Skyline on a somewhat regular basis. So the miles and call volume has increased enough that within the next 5, I'd say we need to buy one or 4. The ones we just replaced, we're probably going on 10 years. And we're not going to get that type of life out of them now.
Are you making a lot of runs out to CCA now?
I wouldn't say a lot. We're probably a couple times, maybe 3 times a week. A reasonable estimate on going out there. It's about what we do out there. sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, let's say average 3 or 4 times a week. At least it's under. We've gone away from going out on assaults, now it's more medical calls. I think they figured out if they complain of certain complaints that they can get a ride to the hospital for a few hours. So it's more just get out of prison for a few hours and people getting beat up.
Any more comments or questions? I think that's it for tonight, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Your motion to adjourn.
What about
Do we want to go over election commission?
Yeah,
without
Is he
Mr.
here
Fowler?
now?
He never
Y'all
did
still
what?
ain't here?
Thank you, Mr. Joel. Got enough. We can go back
Thank you,
over.
a lot.
Give me one to turn back to that page.
Election commission.
It's on page 5.
This is page 5.
It's off the page.
This one.
Everybody found it?
Again, same thing as before, there's a statutory increase because the county election officials' pay is actually tied to another elected official, and if that official gets a raise, then the county election commission administrator gets a raise, so that's $1,712 here. There is a decrease of $500 for paying deputies, a decrease of $750 of pay going to the election commission members, decrease of $2,000 for election workers. But because Mr. Paxton gets a pay raise, there is an increase in Social Security, $29, retirement, $86, and medical insurance, Medicare increase is $7. There is a $4,460 increase for maintenance, repair, and services of equipment, $750 increase on other charges, and a $400 decrease in office equipment, for a total year-over-year increase of $3,394 and a total budget request of $126,952. However, there are a couple of caveats that need to go along with this. Since this is a presidential election year, state law requires the state to reimburse the county for expenses relating to the presidential primaries. Mr. Paxton estimates that reimbursement should be around $16,640. And the state also pays some of Mr. Paxton's salary because he is a certified election administrator, and I believe that amount is approximately $18,000. So we do have some revenues coming in that will help cover some of these expenses. They're just, since this is mainly only the expense page, you don't see the revenue side of it, but I wanted to go ahead and made sure to notate that in his presentations. I made sure to pass that along to the commission members.
That's from the state, right?
Yes, ma'am. The state statute says in presidential primaries, the state will reimburse the county for expenses related to that because the county has no reason to call that. We have no county elected official participating. It's strictly for presidential primaries. So the state statute requires that the state reimburse us for that. He's estimating this year that'll be about approximately $16,640. And also the state election law says if a county election administrator will get certified, they will do a salary supplement, and he thinks that's approximately going to be about $18,000.
Any questions about that? Roll call.
County bill 3, we've been over this.
That'll be Thursday. Yeah, Public Works is coming in, so they'll cover Public Works of funds out of the 101, 111, and then also, since Public Works is also over the sanitation, they'll cover the sanitation 116 fund. And then other departments or funds that weren't covered tonight will be done on Thursday night.
and Mr. Sun.
Are we gonna go back to the school on Thursday night? Think, okay.
Any more comments before we close? Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor, say
I
aye.
beat you, Bubba.
Yeah, I'll get by there and catch off.
Our estimated balance at the end of the year is $6,000.